go. Hey, team. Hope you're doing fantastic. Feel a tiny bit weird and nervous because I can't see you. I just have to hope that I'm not talking to a camera and I'm actually talking to you. Gang, if you can see me and hear me, that would be useful for you to type in the chat and say, yep, can see you, hear you, all of that stuff to make sure the tech is working. Because, you know, it's tech and it doesn't always freaking work. So please let me know in the chat. And I've been told there is like a minute-long delay between when I say something and when you hear it and when you actually do something. So I just have to awkwardly stand here and wait for you guys to say something. And we see it. Okay, thanks, Tanya. I appreciate you. Team, we got Tanya here. She's part of the gang inside Gladiator Mastermind. She's part of the team. So she's going to help us throughout the journey over the next however long we're going to be here. Hopefully not long, but just long enough to show you everything I got to show you. Hey, Juan. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Pirio. Hey, Mel. Good to see you, gang. Team, welcome to what I call the daily client model. At least that was the name long ago when we taught this to the clients, or taught something similar to this to the clients. The goal of today is to show you everything we're doing right now and everything we've done so far to get customers every day and clients every week. For today's session, there is a workbook. It kind of looks something like this. There's quite a lot in it and a bunch of bonuses in here as well that you can grab. For you to grab the workbook, all you got to do is go to the link in the description. I believe that's where it is. Sorry, team. It's my first time ever on YouTube and I still don't know what I'm doing. So welcome to the first live stream. Go to the description. The link is supposed to be there. If not, Tanya, if you can grab it and put it in the chat as well so people here live can grab it, that would be fantastic. And we can pretty much get ready. By the way, as we go through the stuff and I'll show you things, you're going to have questions. Perfect. I want you to type in your questions in the chat. Tanya is actually going to grab all of your questions. At the end, I'm going to spend about 10-15 minutes answering all of your questions, and she's going to be able to send me your questions that you've had throughout the session. So don't just wait until the end to give me the questions. The moment it comes to your head, type it in. There are no silly questions. Tanya's going to grab it, and we're going to answer all of it right at the end or as we go through if it kind of makes sense. With that being said, team, let's get started with the daily client model. Now, here's the thing. I'm about to stand here and kind of show you how to get clients without sales calls, which I will. But not even for a minute, I want to pretend it's easy or the transition between sales calls to no sales calls and getting clients at high ticket is or was smooth. It wasn't. I would be lying if I said it was easy. It was hell for the past year and a half. So 2 years ago, we kind of stopped. Here's what happened. I was in Dubai for about a month to check out the place with my girlfriend because we wanted to move there. 2 weeks into the holiday, my best closers, two of my best closers left for the family business and kind of starting their own business as well. Love them. They're crushing it. I'm happy for them. But it kind of put me in a bad situation. And I had two choices. It was either jump on the sales calls myself and eventually hire somebody to replace them and kind of rebuild the team, or cancel everything, burn the business to the ground, restart again. Now, you might be wondering why the hell would I even think of the second option and not go back to the first option? Here's why. On paper, the business was doing ridiculously well. Multiple seven figures, had a team of 16, setters, closers, managers, VAs, graphic designers, anybody you could possibly think of you need for your coaching business, we had 16 of them. So on paper, things are good. Behind the scenes, where most people don't share their stuff, things were not as good as you would think. It was kind of embarrassing. I was working roughly around 15, 16 hours per day. Even though I had 16 people as team members, you would think I don't have to do anything because I got a team. They would do everything for me. Wasn't the case. 12 hours a day was a consistent thing. You can ask Tanya. I was up until 4 a.m. sometimes. Well, actually, quite often, dealing with stuff. So there was that side of it that I didn't like. And it was also the revenue versus profit, multiple seven figures. And the best we've had was 20% profit range for us, usually around 17, 18%, not even 20%. So it was a slap in the face, working really, really hard and having the same kind of left in the bank money as somebody else who's just getting started in their business. It wasn't that fun. So I decided to close the business and continue with the holiday and then come back and figure out what the hell we're going to do from there on. So we came back, and the thing was, okay, you can rebuild what you had, or you can actually build a business that you want. So I was like, let me give this a shot and try to build a business where I don't have to work 12 hours a day, where I don't need a team of 16 people to run everything, and definitely don't need sales calls. Can we pull that off? Let's give it a shot. We gave it a shot, and before you know it, guess what? Nothing worked. Didn't get a single client. Actually, we went from getting like one client a day with sales calls to like one client every few months without sales calls. So it was scary and clearly not working, right? It kind of went on for about a year because I was like getting leads, showing them the offer, they're just not becoming a client. I was this close to giving up and going back to building a sales team and kind of doing what I know. Until I figured out a couple of things that kind of made sense once I realized they were missing. Turns out when you're doing sales calls to get clients, you can't just drop sales calls and replace it with like a video or a PDF and people are going to become clients. It doesn't work that way, apparently. So we had to figure out quite a few things. And today's session, what I would love to do is show you all of the stuff that we had to install to actually make it a success, so you can skip all of the hard work that I had to go through. And hopefully within the next week or two, you're going to start getting clients without sales calls really easily. Today's job is to actually do this together and come up with your, what I call the drop offer. So I can drop in front of people and turn them into clients without sales calls. So what I need you to do is, number one, download the workbook if you haven't already. Number two, I do so much better if I know you're on the other side of the camera and we're not on Zoom. I can't see you, but I can read the stuff that you type in the chat. So when I ask a question, if you can type in the chat quickly, that would help me kind of giving me feedback so I can adjust the content to your level and also answer all of your questions. But also, just to make sure that I'm not screwing up and talking to a camera and a tech that's broken. Cool? Can we do that, please? That would be awesome. I know there's a lag between when I say something and when you hear it, so I'll just wait awkwardly until you say yes in the chat. Cool? So team, daily client model, let's get started. The old way of running a coaching business is, well, it's old for us. It's probably the thing that you're doing right now. If any of this is true, just type in the chat, yep, that's me. So I know like this is resonating and it's right for you. And if it's not, then you gotta let me know so we can adjust stuff, right? Thanks, Juan. Cool. So let's get started. The old way of running a coaching business, you probably are chasing a bunch of freebie seekers. They're there when you have free stuff to give them. And when it comes to becoming a client or buying something from you, they disappear. They become a ghost. And as much as I love Jack Sparrow, I don't want freebie seekers. By the way, if you're wondering why Jack Sparrow is on the picture, Jack Sparrow never paid anyone anything and took as much as it possibly could. Awesome character, love him, but we don't want him as leads or customers. So if you're facing freebie seekers, that's one of the side effects of running the old model, which is getting leads and try to turn them into paying clients with sales calls. Or you're not getting freebie seekers, you're actually getting people that want to buy from you, they're buyers, but they can't freaking afford you. They're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Have any of you guys ever heard this? You're on a sales call and like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's everything I've been looking for, but can't really afford the price. Sorry, got to think about it. I'll save up. I'll get a second job. I'll sell a kidney. I'll join later, which they never do, right? So you either get freebie seekers or people that really can't afford you. And because things get tough in the business, you either become the marketer trying to get even more leads or become the salesperson trying to turn the leads that can't afford you into clients. It's two hats that you keep wearing, and you forget to wear the one that you always wanted to wear, which is being a coach and actually helping people. So you stop being a coach and start being a marketer and a salesperson. And if that keeps going on, where you're doing your damn best, doing the things you probably don't want to do, and getting lots of leads and potential clients that never become clients, you're going to start building a business you grow to hate. It's like building your own jail cell. The bigger it gets, the more uncomfortable it gets, especially when you get to a place where you have a team of 16, then you want to pull your hair out. So that's a business you hate, and I want to help you avoid that. So we're going to do the new way, the thing that's been helping me kind of save myself from my own business, if that makes sense. And when you do this right, you're going to stop dealing with Jack Sparrows and freebie seekers, and you're going to actually deal with buyers, people who are not only ready to buy from you or to just buy, even if it's not you, they're ready to buy. They're also ready to pay the price for the thing. They don't want it cheap. They want it well done and as good as it could get. Money is not the issue. So the pricing thing is no longer going to be a problem when dealing with buyers. The second thing is you're going to have something for everybody. Here's what I mean. If you have like a super expensive program and it's got like one pricing on it, anybody that can afford it, fantastic. So you have something for somebody, but it's not for everybody. Meaning if they can't afford it, or if the program is not right for them, you just lost the person. So what we want to do is build a business that has something for everybody. So majority of the people that come your way end up doing some sort of business with you. We'll go deep into that today, and I think you're gonna love it. The second thing you're gonna experience with the new model is you surprisingly going to spend a lot more time coaching and a lot less time marketing and being a salesperson. Actually, you're never going to be a salesperson again because you're not selling by sales calls. So the only thing you're going to have to do is being a marketer and being a coach. Well, you're going to be like 90%, 95% coach and 5% marketer, which is going to be a ton of fun. The thing that I'm going to semi-promise, because you never want to promise anything, especially on like a free event like this, where we are here together and then I'm not going to see you again. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Hopefully I will, dude. Stick around. But the thing I'm going to semi-promise is your profit is going to go up with this new model. Your business stress is going to go down. Other stresses in your life, can't really help you with that. Sorry, dude. But business stress, that's going to go down. And the consistency in your revenue and number of clients that you get is going to go up. So profit goes up, consistency goes up, stress comes down. And I think that's a recipe for having a business where you fall in love with it again. You know, growing, scaling, doing the business is no longer a struggle and pain. It's actually fun. That's what I want for you. Cool. All righty, team. I'm trying to be needy right now, and I need some feedback from you in the chat. From what I've said so far, what hit home, meaning what resonated, and what are you looking forward to from today's session? I would love to see it in the chat. And again, I know there's a lag, so I have to wait a minute for you to hear it. Then I gotta wait another minute for you to type it. So we're gonna have 2 minutes of silence for the responses to come in. Team, what have you resonated with so far? We're gonna roll up our sleeves in a minute, and we're gonna do a lot of work together, so I hope you're ready. But before we do that, we'd love some feedback. Yeah, loads of people that can't afford it, 100%. They're everywhere in every niche. Mel says, been there. There's a mixture of all of these. Yeah, learning from the mistakes. Oh, I'll be sharing the mistakes today. Nothing held back. More buyers, less freebie seekers. Oh, amen to that, dude. We love Jack Sparrow, but we don't want him as a lead source. Cool. Team, more buyers with ease. Hell yeah, let's make it happen. Alrighty, gang. So let's begin with the 5 principles that you need for this. If you just follow these 5 things, it's going to be easier, it's going to be smoother, and you're going to hit the goal. I don't want to say effortlessly, because you got to put the effort in, but easily. If you don't follow these 5 core principles, nothing bad would happen. You're just making it harder for yourself. It's the 5 mistakes I made. It's the 5 things you probably want to avoid or do right from the beginning, so life doesn't get miserable as business gets tough. Cool. All right, 5 core principles. Let's get started with first one. We'll do one at a time and we'll take from there. First one is one product, many offers. If you've been a coach for more than, I don't know, 10 minutes, you probably have heard that you want to have one offer until you probably get to the $1 million mark and just one thing to focus on. And we've done that. I did that for years. Honestly, it makes running business really, really difficult. I don't want you to have one offer, because if you have one offer and one pricing, it's only good for one type of person. And if you don't get that kind of person, or that person doesn't come across you easily, like, you're not gonna make that much progress. So what we do on our side is we have one product, which is your program, the thing they focus on, but we have many different ways of selling it. Those are many different offers. So the thing we do, what we focused on, is one thing. We're laser focused, not distracted. It's easy to do. But the way we sell it, many different offers us the way you buy, and the product is the thing you do. So you want to have one thing, but many different ways of buying it. Think of it as like a tree. The trunk of the tree, there's one tree, but there are many branches. So you have one program, but many different ways of buying it. Now here's why you want to have that. And I think you need to first understand this so you can have the right offers in the right order. I've learned this from Sharon. He's a really smart dude in real estate market. I've learned this from him. I've taken it and adjusted it for the coaching world and kind of added things to it. So inspired by him, but adapted and upgraded for us coaches, not real estate people. Cool. So I call this the market gauge. And at any given time within your audience, not just in the market, within your audience, whether the audience is super small or you have a massive audience, it really doesn't matter. Within any audience, you get 10% of the people who are now buyers. There we go, that's better. These are the people that are ready to buy right now. You get another 10% of people who are not buyers. These are the people who will never buy a solution to the problem, ever. Whether it's you or somebody else, doesn't matter. They just never buy. So you have 10% of the people that are ready to buy now, and 10% of the people that will never buy from anybody. After that, you get about 40% of your audience who are in the category of needing time. So they need time before they buy something, and they need time for whatever reason. Like, the reasons are different. They're about to go on holiday, they just had a baby, they lost their job maybe, and now they don't have cash, or like things are tight, or like whatever other reason that could possibly happen that would make them can't buy right now, I need time. And then we have people who are in the, let's make it blue, who are in the need context bucket. They just need more information, and that this is another 40%, by the way. So you get 10% now buyers, 10% not buyers, 40% need time, and 40% need more information, need more kind of, yeah, I guess information from you in order for them to make a decision. And the goal is to always kind of take it from here to over here. At all times, you should ignore these people. They're not buyers, ignore them. You don't even need to spend some time with them. So what we want to focus on is actually these 3 categories: the need time people, the need context people, and then now buyers. These are the 3 people that we want to focus on in your audience. These are not your people, these are your people. Now, most of the time, you as a coach and your competitors are focused on this 10%. Well, let me tell you, the money is actually in this 80% of your audience. You get this, but you really want to work on this. Now, let's break it down in terms of who these people are and what experience they're having, because these are very different people. The ones that need time to the ones that need information to the ones that are ready to buy now, like, they are very different people. The way we're going to break it down is in terms of do they have the pain? So do they know like what kind of pain they have, what problem they have? Second one is, do they know what's causing it? What's the actual problem that's causing the pain? And the third one is, okay, do they know what solutions or fixes are available to them? So first, are they experiencing the pain? Second, do they know what's causing the pain? And third is, do they know what the solution is? The people that need time, these 40% of the people, they typically are in pain. That's why they're in your audience to begin with. But they have no idea what's causing it. And let's kind of color code this so it's easier to know. They are in pain, but they have no idea what's causing it. And they also have no idea what could potentially get rid of it, what the solution is. That's these three people. Same thing with these people over here. Let's go through it. The ones that need more information. Are they in pain? Well, let me just write it down here. There we go. Are they in pain? Absolutely, they're in pain. Do they know what problem they have? Typically, yes. These people do, sorry, let's make that green. These people typically do know what's causing the pain. Do they know exactly which solution or what solution they want? No, because the thing is, with the problem they have, there's probably multiple different solutions. They either don't know about all of them or don't know which one they want yet. That's what they're looking for, more information to find out, okay, I know I have this pain, I have this problem, like, what's the best thing I can possibly do in here? And then for the people who are, let's do that over here, who are the now buyers, they typically are not only in the pain, they know what problem they have, and they know about the solutions. They're just looking for the right person to give them the solution they want. So they're no longer looking for, like, what the hell do I do? They're looking for, okay, who is going to help me out? This is a solution that I want. That's why they're now buyers. That's why they're ready to actually commit to a solution. That's just for the sake of making things look pretty, we add that in. So here's the thing. These three people who are experiencing three different things are three different kinds of people. And you're going to experience them differently in your business. In your business, the way you're going to see them is the people that need more time are typically what I call leads. So let's just make it orange. There we go. These are typically leads. These are the people that want free stuff. These are the freebie seekers we talked about. They want free stuff. And rightfully, honestly, why should they pay for anything? They know they have the pain, but they don't even know what's wrong with them. So of course they're looking for free stuff to figure out, okay, this is my pain, but why am I having this problem? And what solutions are out there? That's why they're looking for free stuff, as they should. So this is where we, if you want to attract these kind of people, we should give them free stuff. Free stuff like maybe a quick 1-page, 2-page PDF that gives them more information around something or solutions. A training video, or even a book is a, this is my attempt to draw a book. That's not too bad. I'm actually happy with that. So it's either a PDF or a training or a book or anything, honestly, that's free. These people want it. And the more of these you give away, the more of these leads you're going to attract. How many of you guys are giving away lead magnets to get some leads? And then you get them on a call and you realize, they don't have the money. They're not ready to buy. They need to think about it. They need to talk to the husband or talk to the wife or whoever else. And it's like, they're not ready yet. That's why you're attracting people who are in pain. They don't know what the problem is and they don't know what the solution is. The middle one is what I call customers. Customers, they're in pain. They know the problem. They don't know what the solution is. Therefore, they're willing to invest a tiny bit of money to taste different solutions. It's like, hey, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do to get rid of this problem, but that seems promising. So let me invest into that a tiny bit and see kind of what it is. Do I like it? Do I not like it? Oh, wait, there's that solution and this solution. So they're going to invest in quite a few things just to taste different solutions to see which one they want, which one is right for them. So they're going to spend a tiny bit of money with you and probably your competitors, to be honest. Now, these customers, there are things we want to give them and things we don't want to give them. We do want to give them workshops. For example, today live stream, I could have done this on Zoom and sold tickets to it. I'm doing it for free because we're launching the YouTube channel. I wanted to do this. And I also was scared of it. So I was like, I got to do it. By the way, this could have been a workshop that was paid. You can also sell training videos. By training videos, I mean a training session that you've probably done for your clients in the past. You take the recording of it, you sell it for whatever price you like. It could be anywhere from $1 to $1,000. Like that's a range of a customer. Closer to 1,000 is probably rare. It doesn't happen that often for a customer. But like $1 to $100 to $100, like that's a sweet spot for customers. And the last thing you can sell them is tickets to events, whether it's virtual or in person. It really doesn't matter coming to events. So customers typically purchase these three things. Now, the one thing we never, ever want to sell as a low ticket thing is a course. We never sell a low ticket course. And if you want to know why, I shot a short video on it. It's on Instagram. We're not going to get into it. You can go watch it over there. But just trust me, don't ever sell a course. It destroys your business and gets you customers that will never become a client. The purpose of getting customers is to get them as a client. Now, you might be wondering, what's the difference between a customer and a client? Client is somebody who's in your program, is paying you on a recurring basis or pays you a big lump sum of money. You spend your time with them over a long period of time to help them get a transformation. A customer is somebody who's paying you a tiny bit of money to get some quick fix for a problem they're experiencing or the pain that they have right now. They just want to taste a quick fix and see if it's the right fit or not, or if it actually helps them or not. See it more of a, they want magic pill and they're willing to pay a ton of money for it. Clients want transformation and they're willing to put in the work to get the transformation, and they're usually much high price. And that's where the 10% buyers come in. These are your clients. They pay a lot more, and typically, if I had to draw them here, they are either in your one-to-one program, or they are in your kind of like a group program, or done for you if you have like a agency side or like you do the work for your clients type of offer, then it's that. So you get clients, customers, and leads. Now, the problem is most people have one offer and they try to put the one offer in front of all three of these people. And they realize, wait a second, like not that many people are buying. I'm talking to so many people, so many chats. They're either not ready, or they don't have the money, or they need to think about it, or like a bunch of other excuses. And once in a while, they do actually become a client. Well, the once in a while that became the client was the 10%. All the other times that they didn't become a client is because they were either in the 40% needing more time or 40% needing more information, meaning they should have been a customer or a lead, not a client. But because you only had the client offer, you would try to force on them, and it's not working. And it's painful for you and painful for them, which we don't want. So there are three different kinds of people. Therefore, we should probably, maybe, have three different kinds of offer. And that's what changed the game for us, team. Let me show you the offers. If you go to the second page, we call this the offer codex. Now, on the offer codex, there are three different kinds of offers that we have. The first one is called the cheese offer. This one is free and it gets you leads. The second one is called a bridge offer. This one costs a tiny bit of money. It's low ticket. And this one gets you customers. And the last one is what I call a drop offer. And a drop offer is typically high ticket and it gets you clients. Now, you might be wondering, okay, I know what the cheese offer is. That's a lead magnet, by the way. Cheese offer is a lead magnet, something you give away for free. So that's clear. I know what the bridge offer is. It's either a training or a workshop that you sell tickets to. So it's like a paid thing, low ticket, never a course. What the hell is a drop offer? Now, imagine you're about to, let's just say you're going to Bali for a month. And as you're queuing up in the airport to board the plane, you get 2 messages on Instagram. One from somebody who's been following you for a while and wants the details of your program, and somebody else who's kind of new, wants the details of your program, but wants you over sales call so he can ask you some questions. So you have 2 prospects in front of you. But here's the thing, you don't have time to jump on sales call, and you definitely don't have time to go back and forth over chat. You're about to board the freaking plane. So what you would do in your infinite wisdom, you put your offer into a 2-page doc, you drop it in front of them and say, hey, that's the offer, check the details in the PDF. Offer expires by the time I land, let me know when you're in. And you kind of board the plane, you forget about it. Once you land and you get connected to airport's Wi-Fi, you get ping. Why is that? Oh, out of the 2, one of them said, I'm in, and he became a client. And a few days later, you get ping. Second person, what's that? Oh, they're in, they want to become a client. Unfortunately, you have to say no to them because you're a man or a woman of your word, and you said offer expires by the time you land. They were too late, so they can't get in. But at least one of them became a client. You didn't have to do sales calls. That's exactly what happened to me a few months ago when I was going to Bali. And that's where drop offers are coming from. Drop offer is an offer that stands by itself. You can drop it in front of the right prospect and walk away knowing that they will become a client. The offer kind of sells itself. You don't need to do the selling part on a sales call. You don't need to convince them. You don't need to explain the offer. It makes sense. They read it and they're either in or they're not. Give me a second. Let me just close the window thing so the lines disappear. That's better. So that is what we call the drop offer. Typically done in a PDF. Now, here's the thing. Here's what the path kind of looks like. And this is a mistake that I made for about a year and a half. And it made life so difficult that to the point I almost gave up selling without sales calls. I would get the leads, running ads, getting the leads, don't know me that much, and I would drop the offer in front of them and hope that they become clients. So the path kind of looked something like this. I would try to get them as a client. Now, this path, I call it the unicorn path. Here's why. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens enough times that it keeps giving you hope that if you work harder, it will work. You will get enough of them going from lead to client that you're like, okay, this might work, but it's not consistent to grow a business. So that's the unicorn path. Does it work? 1000%. Does it work all the time? No. The path that kind of changed the game for us was going this way. Well, let's just change the color. It's we'll get the leads, turn them into customers. I don't need sales calls to get somebody pay me $10, $100, $50 for a complete solution to a small problem. Once they taste that, I don't need sales call to get them as a client. Why? Because they already trust me, they already paid me, they already got solution and taste of how we work. They're freaking loving it, and certain number of those people are going to become clients without even needing to jump on a sales call with it because they already know you, they've already been working with you. So this right here, the leads to customers to clients was the path that kind of unlocked everything for us. Now, do we still get leads to clients? 1000%. We have we built what I call the ecosystem that makes this a lot more frequent. But honestly, even to this day, the path of leads to customers to clients is the most profitable one ever. So those are the 3 offers that you gotta have. Now, the order you build them in your business matters a lot. And by the way, you might have all 3 of them. You just need to rearrange them, repackage them to bring them to life. Like you might already have all 3 of these. If you get leads, there's no point getting leads if you don't have anything to sell them. So it doesn't make sense to have a cheese offer right now. There is no point getting customer if you don't have a program to sell them, because getting customers, like selling something for $50, it's not going to transform their life. It might give them a quick solution, but it's not going to transform their life. So you're not helping that many people, and it's not going to make you rich either. So it's a lose-lose on both ends if you don't have an actual program to sell, a drop offer to give them. So if bridge offer without drop offer doesn't make sense, and a cheese offer without these two doesn't make sense, the only logical order of doing this is going from right to left. So for today's session, we're going to do this one together. We're going to create your 2-page PDF that I can drop in front of people. I'll even show you where you can get the leads from and what to say to them to get them the PDF, and then the PDF that you're going to send them that will turn them into clients. And hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to get messages from you saying, oh, I did the drop offer and I got X many clients, 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on how big your audience is. That's my goal. We're going to build it together today. Now, here's the thing. That was just principle number 1. One offer, multiple offers. And now, hopefully you understand why having one offer with one pricing doesn't make sense. You're going to have one thing that you focus on, your product, but multiple offers. Let's go to principle number 2. This right here is not just a tactic, it's a completely different business model to run from. And it's not something I invented. It's been there for millions of years. Like from beginning of time where businesses exist, this model has been there. It's a model that most people try to shy away from because they think it's hard to do. It's actually extremely easy to do, and I'll show you why. It's actually the smartest move you can do. So if you do this and your competitor is not doing it, you're gonna crush them, which I know your competitors are not doing this. Optimize for buyers. And here's what I mean. Buyers, by the way, same thing as customers. So when I say buyers, customers, same thing. Cool? Here's the math. The numbers I'm about to show you, they're not KPIs. They're just there for you to understand the concept. Let's say you have 100 people in your audience, an audience of 100 people here. Let's make it thicker so you can see it better. There we go. 100 people in your audience. If you go up to these 100 people in your audience and say, hey, here's my drop offer. So I'm just going to write drop offer. Do you want to buy it? I'm willing to guarantee almost nobody will say yes. But just for the sake of example and not to hurt your feeling, let's just say one person says yes and becomes a client. So out of 100 people that I showed the offer to, one becomes a client. In reality, nobody will, but let's just say one is. That's one way of running, like that's one business model. You have audiences, you try to do offers in front of them. Or you become a ton bit smarter. And before you give them the drop offer, first you give them the cheese offer. Remember, what's the cheese offer? It's the thing that gets you leads and it's free. So you give them a cheese offer, something for free to get them as leads, right? And let's say out of 100 people, I don't know, 20 of them say, yes, I like the free thing. Like out of 100 people, they said, hey, they want this free thing, 20 of them say yes. That's reasonable. You're probably going to get a lot more than that. But 20 people will say yes. And then out of the 20 people that you actually helped for free, you go to them and say, hey, here's my drop offer. Would you like to become a client? There is a better chance for these people to become clients because they've already worked with you, they kind of trust you, they had some value from you. Their problem probably kind of solved, hopefully, if you gave them something useful. And now 2, let's just say, are ready to become a client. By the way, does this look familiar? Where you get some leads and you get them on a sales call and you show them the thing and say, hey, do you want to become a client? Right? Let's say 2 become actual clients. Because, by the way, this is kind of close to reality because if you have 20 people book a call with you, probably 15 of them are going to actually show up. Out of the 15, probably 8 to 10 of them are actually people that are qualified, maybe less, probably less. And out of those, maybe 2 of them, 2 or 3 actually become a client. So this is a model that most people are running right now. Or with the exact same 100 people, you can first give them the cheese offer. So same process. And let's say you get the exact same numbers. 20 people take your free stuff. Before you show them your program offer, you say, hey, by the way, you solved that small problem over here. How about you buy this bridge offer? It's $7 or $8 or $10 or $20, doesn't matter. as long as it's more than $1. It's $5 or $7, and it's going to give you this solution to this problem, and it's much quicker. Do you want it? Well, out of it 20 people, let's say only 7 of them say, you know what? Yeah, I'll spend $8 to get this solution. It sounds like it's what I need. And out of these 7 people that have gone through your paid stuff and like, oh my God, that was good. You actually over-delivered way more than $7 I paid for. I kind of feel guilty because I feel like I stole from him. This is really good. I want more of it. Well, now, if you do a drop offer without any sales costs, you just drop the offer in front of them. Well, out of the 7 people that worked with you and got some results, probably around 4 of them will say, you know what? Yep, I'm ready to become a client if your offer is optimized and everything is working the way it's supposed to. So with the exact same audience, you end up with a lot more cash in your bank account and a lot more people helped than the other 2 models. This is what I call the stupid way. And I'm hoping nobody ever does this. There are few in the industry that do, but please don't be one of them. This is the old way. Oops, come on. There we go. Which is most people are running right now. I was doing it 2 years ago. And this is what I call the new era. The new kind of, I call it new era because if you're not doing this and your competitor is, they're going to crush you, and vice versa. If your competitor is doing this or this and you do this, you're going to crush them. Here's why. With this model and this model, so anything in the stupid way and the old way, you are paying to get leads, which is why most people say, well, how much money should I spend on ads? What should my budget be? The only reason you have a budget is because you're losing money. And you're like, okay, I can lose only a certain amount of money before it comes back. But with this one, if you notice, let me just change it to different color. There we go, yellow. When you get customers over here, let's say you get 7 people paying you $100. That's $700 that you just gained over here. You're going to use this $700 to get in front of more people, to get more customers, and it becomes a loop that pays for itself. So you're practically getting paid to be in front of the best quality prospects that are ready to buy right now. You're no longer paying to get leads, which is what your competitors are doing. You're getting paid to get the best leads and the best customers, and then you can turn them into clients without sales calls, and everything you make over here is pure profit, which is why it was so damn embarrassing running this model in the past, because my profit margin at best was 20%, but mostly 18%. And now the profit margin is actually 94%. It's about to go to about 92% because I'm about to make some investments, but about 94% on average. Different business models, different amount of cash left in the bank account. So that's why you want to optimize for buyers, because you get to grow the business, get paid for it, and never worry about, oh, like how much should I spend on ads? Like every penny that you have goes in ads because it comes back, and then you reinvest it as well, and everything else that you get from clients becomes profit. Optimize for buyers makes your life so much easier. The third principle is daily offers equals daily clients. Now, this is so silly, and I almost didn't want to tell you this story because I know how silly it sounds, but it's 100% true, and you might be a victim of this like I used to be. About 5 years ago, I was talking to a really good friend of mine over coffee. I don't drink coffee, but he was. And I was just complaining. I was like, dude, this month we only got like, I think it was 3, but we got 4 clients. 1 kind of bounced out, so really 3 clients. And I thought I was going to get 12. So the expectation was 12. We left with 3 clients. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I was just complaining like a little baby to the guy. He's a business owner, but he's not a coach. And he just said, Omid, just stop, dude. How many offers did you make? I'm like, no, you don't understand. Offers doesn't matter. It's clients do, and we only got 3. He's like, I don't think you understand. How many offers did you make? And when I thought about it, it clicked in my brain. It's something that we all know, but sometimes it just doesn't click until we experience it. If you only make a handful of offers, if you only ask a handful of people to become clients, you cannot be shocked why you didn't get that many clients or any clients last month. So if you didn't get any clients last month or you got a few, ask yourself, how many offers did I make? And that's the problem with sales calls, because making offers becomes so hard because they got to go through so many hoops and loops before they see the offer. With the drop offer, boom, you drop it in front of them, a lot more people are going to see it. Conversion rates are lower, but a lot more people see it, which means it kind of balances out. Sometimes even better. So if you genuinely do want to get clients on a consistent basis, whether it's weekly or daily, doesn't matter, you're going to make daily offers. Now, here's the good news. When it comes to offers, you don't always make the same offer every single day. That gets boring. You make different offers different weeks. Let's say week 1, let's just write in here. Let's say week 1, you do a cheese offer. And then week 2, you do a bridge offer and get some customers. And week number 3, you do a drop offer and you get some clients. And guess what? Week number 4, you go back to a cheese. Week number 5, you come back to the bridge. And week number 6, you do a drop offer. So you're always getting leads, always getting customers, and always getting clients. It goes around. We usually do things on like a 6-week cycles. So that's why we have 6 weeks in here. And it kind of just goes around. As long as you go around this, you're perfect. You don't always need to make the same offer. Obviously, the offers are different cheeses, different bridges, same job offer, but kind of explained differently. But you can kind of keep it fresh by doing one per week. Now, that doesn't mean you talk about it one time. No, you talk about it for 7 days and you promote it and then move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. And sometimes you're useful for free, like this. Sometimes you'll be useful for a tiny bit of money, like a workshop, paid workshop. And sometimes they get a chance to actually work with you to get a transformation long term. That right here is daily offers equals daily clients. That's principle number 3. As simple as it is, a lot of people are tripping over this. Let's go to number 4. The main event, the drop offer. Let's actually build this thing together. You know what it is. You know what it's supposed to do. Let's actually build this thing together. And I think you're going to freaking love this thing. I can't wait to show you, especially the bonuses that come with this. Now, for you to be able to have a successful drop offer, meaning an offer that can stand by itself, that can sell itself, and it can get you clients without you having to be on a sales call. For that to happen, there are 3 things that you need to include in your PDF. So usually drop offers are within a PDF or like anything that's been written on. You need to include 3 things in there. I'll walk you through it and then we'll actually build it together. The first thing that I need to have in there is, there we go, this right here, is what I call the promise. You're going to make some sort of promise. Then you want to show them the path. Then you want to show them the process. There we go. Let's just move this in. The promise, the path, and the process. And each thing has got 3 things that you also got to share. So let's talk about those. So when it comes to the promise, there are 3 time frames you need to make the promise in. Oh, actually, that might be too much. There we go, that's better. The first time frame is now. Next one is soon and later. So what's the promise now? What's the promise soon? And what's the promise later? In other words, let's just make this thinner. By the way, if you don't have the PDF and you just joined, the link to the workbook is in the description. Tony, if you can drop in the chat, that would be amazing as well. So you want to make promise in 3 different time frames. The now promise is typically in the next 30 days. Like what's going to happen in the next 30 days? And I want you to think magic pills. I want you to think life raft. I want you to think a quick solution to a very small problem. That's the first promise you're going to make. The second promise is, okay, what's going to happen soon? And really the time frame for this is anywhere from 60 to 90 days. And these are typically bigger results that you want to have in here. They're not just quick wins, they're actually results that they're going to get. And then the promise for later, right here, is typically in the next 1 to 3 years. And this is where the transformation happens. Okay, so you don't just want to say, like, if you're a business coach, we're going to help you make more money or we're going to help you get more clients. It's okay, what they're going to experience in the first 30 days, what they're going to get soon in the next 60 to 90 days, and the ultimate transformation they're going to have 1 to 3 years from now. So 3 different time frames for just your promise. And just to make this easier for you guys, there are some questions that if you run your promise through these questions and every single one of them become a check, then your promise is as optimized as it could be. For example, the first thing you want to take a look at is when it comes to your promise, did you describe what gets done? Do they actually understand what's going to happen in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and in the next 3 years? If yes, that becomes a green. If not, okay, let's readjust it. Second one, is it detailed enough and clear enough they can point at it? Is it specific enough they can point at the promise? If yes, great. If not, let's get more specific. Next one is, can you describe what they will see show up in their lives if they commit? If they truly commit, what will they see show up in their life? Did you describe that in your promise? And if that's a yes, you're doing great. If not, then we need to adjust the promise. Next one is, can you articulate, oftentimes in written words, because you're not there to talk to them, so it has to be in written words, their deepest desire better than they could? Can you describe it in a way that, like, oh my God, that's exactly what I wanted. You've said it so well. If yes, and your promise actually does that when they read it, fantastic. If not, you need to work on it. And last but not least is, I want you to think in reverse. So it's not positive anymore, it's negative. What aren't they going to have to do anymore? What's the downfall or the downside that you help them avoid? What's the yay they're gonna have without the boo, right? What's the thing? Like, get a six-pack without giving up pizza, kind of thing. Like, without giving up pizza is the negative thing, right? If your promise has that, fantastic. You're pretty optimized. If not, let's add it in. So when it comes to your promise, you gotta think of 30 days, magic pills, 60 to 90 days results, 1 to 3 years transformations, now, soon, and later. And that's just for the promise. Once you made the promise, then you got to show them what the plan looks like, because when somebody hears a promise, the next immediate question they're going to have is, okay, if that's where you're going to take me, but how? Like, how are you going to do this? I don't believe you. Show me the plan. Well, you're going to be the man or the woman with a plan. And that's where the phases, oops, let's change that to this. That's where the phases come in. There are 3 phases you want to have in your PDF. Phase number 1, phase number 2, phase number 3. It's really, hey, what happens first? What happens next? What happens after that? It's, have you, think of it this way. As they read the first phase, second phase, and third phase, can they imagine themselves going on that journey? If they close their eyes, can they imagine themselves going on that journey? Because if they do, now they actually want to go through it, especially if the journey is pleasant. But if they can't imagine it because you didn't put enough details or you didn't make it clear enough, then that's it, right? Make it green by describing your phases better so they can, push themselves into the future pace themselves going through the journey. Last but not least, and this is super important, you want to name the phases and the mechanisms, the unique approaches they have. You want to have names for them and kind of describe what they are and what's going to happen, what they're going to do. But clear beats cute any day. So yes, we do want to name things and make them unique to you, but if you're in pursuit of uniqueness so much that we sacrifice clarity, it's a big no-no. Because if they read the PDF and they're filled with so many questions because they didn't fully understand the 3 phases, you lost them. You're not there to answer questions. They're not with you or somewhere else to get to ask questions. They got to read the whole thing and then say, yes, I'm in, and sign up. Well, for that to happen, clarity is the #1 priority. Meaning, if somebody who didn't know you read the whole thing, would they fully understand what's the journey they're about to go on? That right there are the 3 phases. And that shows the path. Once they know what the promise is and what the path is, the last thing they gotta know is the process. And this is really the logistics. For example, what kind of support are they going to get inside the program? How much is it? What's the price? And can you reduce the risk for them? Anytime somebody makes an investment in your program or in anything, there's a risk. And if the risk is super high, no one's going to buy it. Why? It's scary. The risk is high. But if you reduce the risk to almost nothing, it's an easy yes. And if it's an easy yes, a lot of people are going to say yes. Now, how do you reduce the risk? Really by 3 things. I kind of write in the corner for you in here. Just write it in here. 3 things to reduce the risk. First one are guarantees. If you can offer any guarantees that reduce the risk naturally. Second one are bonuses. Sometimes if you increase the value, slight increase in risk is okay, as long as the value and the risk is well heavier and lighter. So more value, less risk, than more risk and less value. Cool. Last one I call the cat. Here's the thing, especially if you have a program that's long term, like 6 months or 12 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. If you have a long-term program, the fear that most people have is not starting a program, is getting into a program that sucks and it's not right for them, but now they're committed because they made a contract with you for the next 12 months or 6 months or 3 months or whatever it is. So if that's the case for you and you're trying to sell a long-term program, which you should, by the way, or you need them to work with you long-term to get the transformation, then we got to make sure there is no cat around the corner, meaning they're not going to get locked in to the program. There is no, either there is no crazy contract that's going to lock them in for a year, or if there is a crazy contract, there's a way for them to get out of it in the first few weeks or few months if they choose to. In our case, we just don't do any contracts. Our clients stay with us because they want to, not because they have to. So we don't do any contracts. But if you do, make sure there's a way for them out in the first few weeks or few months so that they feel more comfortable joining, because they know if it's not great, they can leave. And your job is to make your program so great that nobody wants to leave. That's the goal. So the order you do this is the most crucial part. You start with the promise, then you go to the path, and then go to the process. More specifically, you start with what happens now in the first 30 days, soon, and then later, then you go to phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, then you tell them what support they're going to get, then you tell them the price, then you're going to reduce the risk of starting by introducing guarantees, bonuses, and telling them that there is no cat around the corner, they're not going to get locked in. Right here, the 3 questions you want to answer is there a clear return on investment? If they pay you X amount, is there a return on investment? Not just financially, is, you know, if you have a business offer that's financially, but like the thing they're going to get, is it worth it? Have you made it easy to get started? Again, that's around risk and prices. Is it easy to get started now? And last but not least, is it scary or exciting? When they read it, do they get scared? They're like, no, that's risky, scary, or do they get excited too? Oh my God, that's exactly what I've been waiting for. I need to do this. Those are the 3 questions you want to ask. Now, looking at this, it's kind of hard to write today. Don't worry. I'm going to make it easy for you. Let me show you what this looks like in action. If you go down here, this is the 2-page PDF. Now, it's like a page and a half, or like 2 pages if you actually put it into a PDF. Here's how it works. First, you have the name of your program. Then you want to add a tiny bit of urgency on why they should jump now, not fake urgency. So don't just make numbers up or fake dates and accept people after it. Actual genuine urgency, because you either cannot get more than this many, like you cannot handle more than this many clients joining your program and getting onboarded, or you're genuinely not accepting any clients after a certain time until you're opening it, like whatever the case is. Right here is where the promise is, the promise in the first 30 days. I should probably use highlighted. We've got the promise in the first 30 days, and then what they're going to get after that in the next 60, 90 days, and then what the eventual goal is. So the promise goes in here. And then we get into the phases and clarifying what's going on. We got the first 6 weeks in here. Here's the cool things we're going to do over the next 6 weeks. And then we have the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Now, let me clarify this for you. This right here in the first 6 weeks and the phase 1, that right there is really working together to say what happens first. So it's making it very clear that the moment I join, these are the stuff that's going to happen. Then we have phase 2 that clarifies what happens next, and then phase 3, what happens after that. Those are these 3 questions. What happens first? What happens next? What happens after that? That happens in the PDF in that format. So what have we done so far? In the half a page, within few paragraphs, we already made 3 promises, one for now, one for soon, one for later. We talked about 3 phases. That's already happened. Next, we're going to talk support. And the support is right here, talking about what they're going to get. And the support is like, hey, you're going to get this many calls. These are when the calls are. You're going to get access to the community, the chat, like whatever it is they're going to give them. How are you going to help them? What support are they going to have? The moment you do that, you go into investment, which is okay, how much is it going to be? And that's pretty much it. How much is it going to be? After the investment, everything you do is to reduce. So let's just highlight the investment. Is the pen working? I think the iPad is struggling. There we go, that's better. Everything you do after the investment is to reduce the risk. So the love it or leave it that you're going to put in there, which is, hey, in our case, there's no contract, you can leave anytime, or even the guarantees. We don't give any guarantees because there's no contract, it's easy to get started. And in life, there are really no guarantees. But if you can give them any guarantees, please do. It does reduce the risk, therefore increase the conversion rate. So love it or leave it, the guarantees, and the more benefits, aka bonuses, are all there to reduce the risk for the prospect. And once you've gone through all the bonuses, you don't need to have as many. You just tell them how they can become a client right at the end. That's the entire page. And this entire triangle in action. Promise, path, process. You go through those 9 things in your PDF and you have exactly what you need to turn somebody into clients. But here's the thing. Looking at this and even looking at an example, it might make it easier to write, but it's still not that easy, is it? So here's the thing. I made it easy for you. The template for that PDF is down here. If you like Notion, you can use Notion. And if you like PDF, Google Doc, you can use a PDF kind of Google Doc. Google Doc is my favorite. But we don't want to stop there. I don't want you to just have a template and then sit down and write it yourself. What if I just write it for you? Would that be cool? Well, that's exactly what you're going to get. Right in here, the Offer Alchemist is our custom AI. It's been trained up to its neck on the triangle and exactly what needs to happen and what the format needs to be. And all you got to do is click this. This is clickable. You can, in the PDF, you can click it. And if you don't have the PDF, the link is in the description. You can click this and it takes you to ChatGPT. It talks to our AI. Now, 2 kind of, no warning, kind of like a heads up. Heads up number 1, the more detail you give it, the better it's going to create the offers. Because ChatGPT doesn't know you, our custom AI doesn't know you, but you know yourself and you know your offer. So it will ask you questions. Each questions, don't type it in, because typically when you type it in, you're lazy and you're not going to say as much. Tap the speaker thing and talk to it. And just say as much as you can, give it as many information as you possibly can. And by the time the questions are done, it's going to take everything and turn it into a doc that's been written for you. The first draft you're going to get is going to be 80-90% perfect. The last 10% of you making it amazing is going back to the AI and say, hey, I love this part, don't love that part, let's change this part. I was thinking this way for this part, and it will adjust it for you, and then you will have the perfect version that you can use to turn leads and customers into clients without sales costs. So you can have all of it done for you using the Offer Alchemist. Now, that was like warning number 1. Warning number 2, this is the light version compared to what our clients get. our clients get the full thing and it's kind of heavy loaded, but don't let that fool you. The light version still kicks ass, and I'm willing to say that's the best one out anywhere, and I would pray against anybody else's custom AI. Ours will win. Even the light version, never mind the ones that our clients get access to. So get your hands on it. Don't do the work, let it do the work for you, and then you do the last 10% when it comes to making it sound more like you and making it sound good. So we talked about drop offers. You're gonna build yours with the AI within the next hour or so, maybe less than that, you're gonna have it. Once you have your offer, you're like, okay, great, but who do I show it to and what do I say to get people to buy it? That's what we're gonna focus on right now. So if you go to the next page, this is the offer validation phase, and here's how you're gonna do this. First thing you wanna do is find the people who could potentially become clients. The second thing is, okay, what do I say to them? And then the third thing is, okay, how do I know this is working or it's not working, and what do I need to improve? So let's talk about that. Where are you gonna get these people? Well, the first place, the first exercise we wanna do is what I call the audience asset. I don't care when you got started as a coach, whether you just got started recently or you've been in the game for the past 10 years, the audience asset will give you hundreds, if not thousands of people that you can do this with. And I'm just gonna walk you through the list of where you can find these leads. If you've been in the game and you've been doing sales calls, which you probably have been if you're on this session, past sales calls are a great place for you to find some leads you can do this with, especially the ones that you had a chat conversation with and they said yes to the call but never booked. So chat, never booked. Or maybe they booked and never showed up to the call. I'm sure you have quite a few of those. They booked the call, but they didn't show up to the call. Well, that's fantastic. Don't get them on another call. Send them the PDF. Don't worry, I'll tell you exactly what to say. The third one are the ones that showed up on a call, but never became a client for whatever reason. Not a client yet. So they jumped on a call, but they didn't become a client. So that's like 3 different categories within the first one. Second one, email database. If you collect the email list, you can send them an email, get them to raise their hand, show them the offer. What to say to them, don't worry, I'll tell you what to say, just be patient. Text database. If you have anyone's phone number or you've been collecting phone numbers, that's another one. Social media messages. And here's what I mean by this. Social media messages could be active messages now, meaning the leads you have right now that you're actively talking to, or the past or ghosted chats. Like, I'm sure you've had chat or chats with prospects and it's going great until they disappear and they never reply back and they're becoming ghosts. Well, if that's the case, you can still reach out, send them a message, see if they want to see the PDF, and then send them a PDF. Whether it's active or you had a conversation 2 years ago, it doesn't matter. The next few are pretty obvious, but please do use them. Social media followers. If you have some people following you on social media and you've been talking about your coaching business or your solutions or the problems that you solve, they follow you for a reason. They probably have, at some level, some of those pains. Send them a message or make a post on social media. You don't always have to send messages and chase people. You can make posts on social media to raise a hand and attract them to you. It could happen inside a Facebook group. It could happen on your social media kind of platforms like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, other places. YouTube, what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm doing on YouTube yet. And current advertising. If you're running some ads and you're getting some leads from there, fantastic. You got some fresh leads. Let's focus on them. The last 3 are the ones that, if you have them, they're big boosters. If you don't have them, it's okay. It's like partners. If it's you and kind of like a either a business partner or a JV or somebody else that can get in front of the audience, that's a partner. Your network, like people that you have in your contacts, people that you know of, are they potentially a good fit to become a client, you can send them the message I'm about to show you, or you can ask them if they know somebody. And past clients. Do not discount this last one. Past clients, the clients that worked with you a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they might still need you. Send them a message. Now, you might be wondering, what's the damn message I need to send? Well, it's right in the middle. And you have two different options depending on who you're sending it to. Obviously, the message you would send to a past client is probably a very different message you would send to somebody who never showed up to a sales call, right? So depending on who you're sending a message to, you probably want to use one of these two or something similar to them. Let's go through the first one. This one says, hey, Nate, obviously put their name in. I'm opening the doors for 5 people to work with me to get your promise. Now, this promise is the promise that you have in the first 30 days. Remember up here, we talked about 3 time frames for your promise. There is now, soon, and later. It's the promise for now, okay? Don't include the whole promise, just promise for now. Small promises hooks people in even faster. They believe it, they want it, and because it's a small promise, they think they're gonna get it quick, which they will, it's only 30 days, or even less. It's really attractive. So the promise that you put into here is the first 30-day promise, small thing. So work with me to get small promise in time it takes in the next 30 days, probably. Or if you have something that's quicker, in the next 15 days, 10 days, whatever. I've made it easy to get started for however much your program is. If you charge weekly, the price becomes really small. I made it for like $100 per week, $200 a week, $300 a week, doesn't matter. Shall I send you the details? Now, here's the thing. This one line right here is optional. If you want to increase the quality of the people you're getting and decrease the volume of people that say, yes, I like the details, then include the pricing. If you want to increase the number of people that say, yes, I like the details, and obviously if you increase the number of people, you kind of decrease the quality of them, then you exclude that. So like, don't tell them what the price is. It's, I'm opening the doors for the first 5 people to work with me to get this kind of promise in the next 30 days. Shall I send you the details? That's the first option. Second option is actually something me and Tanya came up with, and then kind of our clients used, and it gave them amazing results. And this is typically what you would use with either past clients or with somebody who didn't become a client on a sales call. If you ever done a sales call and you get to the end of it, they didn't become a client, this is a fantastic thing to use with them. And it goes something like this. Hey, Nate, I was thinking about you, or I was talking about you with my team this morning. Now, if you don't have a team and you don't want to lie, all I need you to do is go to the bathroom, have a meeting with your team, aka yourself, in the mirror, and mention their name and talk about them. Therefore, after doing that, this sentence becomes 1000% true because you had a team meeting. You don't need to say the location and who with. I was talking about you with my team this morning. Gotta give you credit. You are the inspiration behind the new community I'm building right now. I'm opening 5 spots for who, like in my case, coaches, in your case, whoever it is you work with, to work with me this month to get the results. Which results? The results in the first 30 days. Don't promise the whole thing, just the first 30-day results. Since you are the inspiration for this, should I send you the details in a PDF so you can check it out? That's it. And you're going to get so many people say, oh, that's cool. I'm curious. Yeah, send it to me. I love to say it. Or they would just say yes. They won't say all of that. And you're going to get a bunch of people raising the hand saying, yes, I'd like to see the PDF. That's the important part. Because if you go into them, you don't want to push the PDF in the face and say, hey, do you want to buy? You want them to kind of come to you, even though you initiated the conversation. So you want to say, do you want it? They say yes. The moment they say yes, now they're coming to you. Now they're asking, hey, please give me the details. And all you got to do is not be rude and not ignore them. Actually send them the PDF. Which PDF? The PDF you just made, the drop offer. Now, here's what to look out for. And here's how you know it's working well. Is the promise meaningful to them? Here's how you know that's working. If you send this message to a bunch of people and nobody said yes, the promise you made was not meaningful. It was so meaningless to them that they didn't even want to see the details of the PDF. Because we're not asking them to buy anything right now. We're just saying, do you want to see the details? And if they don't even say yes to that, that means the promise is not landing how it should be. So if you don't get that many yeses, it's because of the promise. But if you get many, many yeses, that's good. Let's move on to the next one. If you get quite a few of them become a client, fantastic, it's working. But if they don't, understand that getting a no is as good as a yes. In Gladys Mastermind, we call it the golden no. Here's why. The first 100 people that are going to read the PDF, when they say no to you, there is a reason. And if you ask them for feedback and they tell you why they said no, obviously first accept it so they don't feel like you're trying to convince them. Say, cool, that's totally fine. I'll take you off the list. By the way, just doing me a favor. Do you mind telling me why so we can improve the PDF? I just want to make sure it's the best offer we can possibly make. And when you ask them that, they'll tell you why. Maybe it's not a good time, then you know they're in the first 40%, they need more time. If they say it's not the right fit for me, or like it's not what I'm looking for, they probably needed more information, they lack clarity there, or genuinely wasn't a good fit for them, or they give you a bunch of other excuses or objections. You're going to take those and say, hey, can I adjust my offer? Can I adjust the PDF to eliminate those? And the more no's you're going to get, the more feedback you're going to get, guess what? The better your PDF is going to become. Now, the thing I want you to pay attention to is what questions do they actually ask and what questions don't they ask? The questions they ask shows you what's misunderstood, what actually worked really well in the PDF, and what didn't work too well in the PDF. I apologize, Tim, if you can hear the background noise. Let me see if I can. Potentially, you shouldn't be able to hear any background noise. Oh, they turned it off. That's good. Good. Okay, back to the program. This is how you optimize your offer by seeing how many people are saying no. We kind of want to pay more attention to the no's than yeses. Yeses, great. You just got client without sales call. But it's more of a no's that are going to improve your offer so much that eventually everybody that reads it, that are a good fit, becomes a client. And that's what we want to aim for. So that's how you optimize the offer. That right there, my friend, is principle number 4. Principle number 5, and we're going to go through this really quickly, and then we're going to be done, is the math. The math behind getting to 6 and 7 figures and the KPIs, what to look for and what to aim for when you know the whole thing is working really well and when things are not working. Well, I apologize for the sound. I think it was like an alarm thing in the in one of the cars or whatever. Doesn't matter. It's gone now. So let's go to principle number 5, the math. And that, actually, first let's do the KPIs. I think that's most important for you to know about. And then the math is super simple for you guys. I'll walk you through that as well. So for the KPI, how you know things are going really well? Well, we have leads, right? We want to turn them into customers. And we also want to turn the customers into clients. So there are 3 stages. The conversion rate you want to have from leads to customers is anything from 5 to 15%. 5% is the minimum. 15% is my goal to you or for you, is my goal for you and all of our clients. 10% should be your goal. So aim for 10%. You should have minimum 5%. If you're getting less than that, something's not working and we need to adjust that. If it's around 10%, you're actually doing quite well. If it's more than 10%, like closer to 15, you're crushing it. That's where I want everybody to be at. Now, from customer to client, guess what? It's another 5 to 15% with the exact same breakdown over here. So we want 5 to 15% of leads becoming customers, 5 to 10% of the customers becoming clients. And if you do that, life gets so much easier getting to the 6 and 7 figure mark. Because in your journey as a coach, there are 2 mountains you have to climb. The first mountain is the 6 figures. That's where you're making 100K a year. And the second mountain you want to climb is 7 figures. That's where you're making 1 million per year. Now, typically when we do this exercise with our clients, it's a lot more in depth because of the within their program, within their product, they have multiple pricing tiers and kind of access levels. So for them, it's a lot more, I don't want to say complicated, it's in depth because they have a lot more flexibility and different ways of getting clients, clients at different levels, making different amounts. For most of you guys in here, you probably are going to have one product. Yes, many different offers, but like most of your offers are around the same pricing. So it actually becomes really simple to get to the first 6 figures. And if you pass this, stay patient, I'm going to show you the 7-figure numbers. But to get to 6 figures, all you got to do, actually, I did the math before, so I'll just write the numbers. You need 8 clients paying you $250 per week. If you're like, oh my God, $250, don't want to charge that much, cool. You need 10 clients for $200 a week. Oh no, 200, that's too much. Cool. You need 13 clients paying you $150 per week. I don't think anybody should be charging less than $150 per week for their coaching. That's just ridiculously low. Now, why did I choose 150 all the way to 250? Simple. That's what most of you guys are charging. Like you think high ticket is 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month sometimes, all the way down to like 500, 600 per month. Is it super high ticket? In my view, no. Is it where most of you guys are at right now? Maybe. If your pricing is different to this, then you can figure out what the math is. If you don't know and can't do the math, then send me a message on Instagram. We can do the math together. That's the first mountain you want to climb. Let's say you already passed that. What's the second mountain? Where it's quite simple. You 10x it. So you need roughly about 83 clients giving you $250 per week. Now, here's the thing. If you're over here trying to get to 6 figures and you see this number, you're like, oh, that's so scary. How would anybody get 83 clients? And it's totally undoable. Don't focus on this. You focus on your mountain. It's 8 clients you gotta get. Like everybody can get 8 freaking clients, especially if you do that over a year. Like 8 clients in a year. Come on, you can do this. It's 8. Now, if you already past 10K a month, which is 100K a year, and you're making 15, 20, 25, 30K per month, here's the thing. 83 might still be scary to you. You're like, oh my God, 83 clients? Like I only have 20, I only have 30, like 83 clients? That's like almost triple what I need to do to get to 7 figures. Well, here's the thing. What gets you to the 6 figures is not the thing that gets you to the 7 figures. The strategies you use to get your first 20, 30, 40 clients, to get to that 10, 15, 20K per month is not the thing that's going to get you to 7 figures, 1 million a year. So if you're looking at it through the lens of your current strategies, scary. Like, how the hell are you going to do that? You got to change up the strategies, but regardless of the strategies, these are the numbers you got to hit for the different mountains that you're trying to climb. Now, let's kind of land this plane, team, so I can answer all of your questions. By the way, if you do have questions, type in the chat. Tanya is going to grab them, and we're going to do that at the end. Hopefully, we do have enough time. Here's what you need to do next. If you want to absolutely crush this, and please, if you spend the past 90 minutes with me designing your job offer and building everything in your business right now, it's a waste of time and waste of your potential if you don't actually take action. So when it comes to taking action, let's make it easy. Let me show you what to do. Number 1 is creating your offer doc. How? Hey, you can either use a template and do it yourself, or for love of God, I've done it for you. Have the offer alchemist write it for you, make it really good, talk back to it, optimize it. Once you have it, you're golden. If you want me to give some feedback on it, send it to me on Instagram. I'm not promising that I'll give you feedback depending on how busy I'm going to get. But if I do see your offer on Instagram in my messages, I may or may not give you feedback. Let's just say that. Okay, I don't want to promise anything and break the promises, but I will if I have the time. Second one is send it to 30 people. Where are the 30 people going to come from? Well, we did an audience asset exercise over here. I'm willing to bet everybody on this call, we got how many people? 26, 27 people watching. All 27 of you guys right now have 30 people that I can send this offer to. Which offer? I mean, the message and then the offer. Send to 30 people, then optimize based on the feedback you get. Do you get a lot of yeses? Do you get a lot of no's? Do you get a lot of maybes? Optimize based on the feedback. We already talked about that. Number 4 is message me on Instagram if you need more help with any questions that we either don't get to answer today or any questions that pop into your head as you're implementing. It's totally cool. I'm going to Canada in about a week time. It's actually Tuesday down flying or Wednesday. So I'll have plenty of free time over the next 30 days to answer your questions. So send me a message on Instagram, or I would love to answer your questions. And last but not least, there is nothing to buy on today's session. I'm not going to end it with like a pitch or anything like that. The only thing I ask of you is to subscribe to the channel because of 2 reasons. Number 1, I don't know what I'm doing on YouTube, and I've been told subscribers actually matter. So if you don't mind, if this has been useful, please click subscribe. I would love that from you. And I appreciate you for doing it. That's number 1. Number 2, every single week from next week onwards, so this week we've done a live stream to launch the YouTube channel. Every single week from next week onwards, I'm going to show you exactly what's working in our business for our clients behind the scenes. 10-15 minutes of me going deep, just like I did with you, but instead of 90 minutes, it's going to be 10 minutes. And instead of multiple things, it's going to be one thing that you can take, implement in business, and get some results quickly. I'll do that on a weekly basis. I'm planning to do this for the next 4, 5, 10 years, as long as YouTube is the main platform to give you guys value. So I do appreciate your support. If you do, hit subscribe. And if you don't, I still love you. I'm still rooting for you. And you can still watch the free stuff. With that being said, team, that's it for today. What I would love to do is answer any of the questions that you have. But before we get to the questions, I've got a question of you. If you can type in the chat real quick, how do you think this will give you a competitive advantage compared to competitors? How will this change the game for you? What will this unlock in your business? Type in the chat. I would love to see. And I know there is a minute lag, so I'll wait a minute for you to hear it and another minute for you to type it in. And as you're doing that, that gives Tanya enough time to collect the questions. And if you don't have any questions, we're going to wrap up in here. And if you do have questions, we're going to go through the questions. I always tell people, if you run a coaching session and there are no questions, you either had everybody fall asleep and it was really bad, or you did really well and it was so clear that nobody has any questions. Hopefully you're not sleeping. I don't know. Maybe you are. We shall see. There's a lag, so I'll just wait for you guys to type in. There we go, team. Let me see what questions you guys have. Right, Mel says, I wouldn't want to turn away a customer even if they were late. Well, dude, if you say the doors close on this date and you're still getting clients after that, that's just you not being true to your words. So I rather be true to my word. And if I said that's a deadline, then that's really the deadline. And after that, nobody gets in and they can wait for the next round. You give them plenty of time and plenty of warning and plenty of resources and make it easy for them to sign up. Whether they do it on time or not, is down to them. I'll never sacrifice what I'm saying and break any promises. That's on my side. Let me see what we have here. Period. Thanks so much. My pleasure. Period. Cool, team. Do we have any questions whatsoever? No questions here. Everything said was clear. Okay. I'm glad. Less time spent with time wasters. Cool, team. As I said, if you have questions later on as you're implementing this, that happens. Send me a message on Instagram. With that being said, can't wait to show you everything else every single week, one video at a time, and we'll take from there. Thanks, team. I'll see you soon.